Welcome to Awkward Channeling.
Yay!
Yay. We hope everybody is good today. So I'm going to make a quick, kind of explanation. We are popping up in a couple of different places today here on YouTube. And my channel, Divine Truth Healing, we are going to be popping up there. And Celestial Whispers
Whispers
Healing,
healing.
sorry, which is Joelle's channel. We're going to pop up there as well. So you could be seeing us from my personal
Several.
channel or
Right.
Joelle's. And if you are mine, you're just going to get this once in a while.
Yeah.
Today's shadow work, it's really a lot of what I do with people overall.
Right.
So I thought it was appropriate to stream it there as well. That may not happen next time, but we're here every Friday. 1 p.m., I guess, Mountain Time, which is Arizona time.
Yeah. 3 Eastern, 2 Central.
Yeah, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, noon in Pacific.
Right.
We are here. Every other week we have a topic like this where we are talking about it. And then on the off week, we do card pulls and mini readings for a limited 45 minutes. Yeah. So welcome. Hopefully we do good today. We will. We always have kind of an organized.
It's a good subject, one that a lot of people have questions about, because a lot of people don't know where to begin. I think that's what, and some people just get scared. They don't want to.
Well, for good reason. I mean, I get that, but we cannot be afraid of ourselves.
Right.
You have nothing to fear. You're an amazing being of light. Right. You don't know it walking through this heavy world, but we are amazing creatures. And when we connect to that, when we move these wounds and limitations and misunderstandings about ourselves aside, we connect with that. Right. That was my first step to realizing more about the spiritual side of life, because it really is a side of everyone's life. It's there for all of us.
Right.
So, I mean, but yes, it can be a
little scary.
A little daunting. Yeah. And that's where it's handy to have like a healer or someone that you trust that can kind of help support you if you have a hard time with something. But you can do that with either one of us with mini sessions or whatever, like it doesn't have to be a big deal.
Right.
That we can assist you with energy or, what have you, or whoever you're drawn to.
Right.
So I know Joelle has had some things up lately, so she might be yawning, and I always cry. So, please forgive me ahead of time.
We all process and release different. It's nothing to be.
Oh yeah, we do. I've always been a crier.
Right. Me too.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. So,
I have Mother Mary is wanting to come through with a channel and maybe a clearing. I'm not sure. She came around the other day when we were talking about it. So
she did. Yeah, we were like, we actually met to talk about this one. So,
Yeah.
But, we're going to do that. We're going to channel, we're going to talk to some beings, get a little bits of advice, and then we'll talk a little bit about experiences and kind of the steps, like we came up with 6 steps. I know some people have more of, how you kind of delve into it. But the essence of what you're doing is understanding yourself more,
right?
Releasing things that have been put on you that have wounded you, that have kind of caused you to have limitations or misunderstandings about the truth of yourself. And that's really what shadow work is just seeing that opposite side and accepting the darker side of ourselves. Like, we're human beings. We can't not have a darker side.
Right.
So and it's all of the light. I mean,
kind of like when my protector guide comes in, you need darkness and lights. It's a balance, and you just need to find the right balance for you without judgment is the main. Don't judge yourself for feeling this way because you think you should be this way. And I'm sorry.
Right. And you're always welcome to make changes, right? Like, I'm
Oh,
always trying to shift
absolutely.
something or
Yeah.
whatever, but I have to accept that this is who I am right now, and if I have a goal, that's fine. We don't
Yeah.
have to be like, "Oh my god, I'm so terrible because I have this one little weird thing," or whatever. We don't have to look at it that way. We can just be like,
Yeah.
"That really makes me uncomfortable still, so I'm gonna work on that a little more. Let's see
Right.
where that comes from.
Yeah.
Let's let's see, can we shift that to something that I am happier with, without hating on ourselves?"
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I always say, even in the Bible, even Jesus turned tables and brought out the bullwhip. So I mean, you can't condemn yourself for having human emotions. I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
yes, you can be
and
love and light, but you can have road rage too. I mean, it's a
you
balance.
can. I'm an example of that sometimes. Um, we are gonna go through steps.
Yeah.
So, I know we're just kinda talking in circles at the moment, but we are absolutely going to look at steps and talk about, some
Yeah.
different things and our experiences with it. I've walked through a ton of it. So, yes, but let's talk
Okay.
to Mother Mary first.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just have a feeling she wants to come through first.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, I am here. I come in today to speak on a little of what they have already said. You need to release the judgment of yourself for being human. There are many that like to show on social media that they are just happy and uplifted all of the time. They are nothing but love and light, but you need to realize you do not see behind the camera. You are just seeing a piece of their lives. You can't hold this all of the time. It's not sustainable in the real world for you humans. Let go, release the judgment of yourselves for feeling these emotions. It is okay. The main thing is to not stay in those emotions. If you are in traffic and you get angry, or if you get into an argument with someone else, don't stay in that anger. As was mentioned, you can recognize it, acknowledge it, figure out why you acted this way, and move on. Learn from it. And I am going to bring in a clearing that is going to help you with releasing the judgments and the preconceived notions that you were supposed to act a certain way. You can't act like everyone else because you are your own individual soul and you need to be you. So let's bring in this clearing now. E amaya ki amante amaya si atake amaya nanate amaya si hu madake amaya nate hananata ki amatsi atake amaya nanate amaya nataki amatsi ate ana hu mayate amaki atsi ananatake amayana hatake amasi ananatake amayatake atia. I will be back also a little later when it is time. Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
yes.
it's so cool. While she's there, I'm thinking, okay, you balance me out. She's my balance because you hear me, I'm so freaking loud and can be obnoxious at times. And she's the softer, gentler.
Obnoxious. She's very soft and very gentle, and that is a true
Right,
fact, honestly.
right.
Very, very much so. And I think that we will have her coming and going through this,
Right.
just to kind of help people, I think.
Yeah.
And I think at the end,
She's
we're going to
still got me
do,
doing my hands, so she's gonna be going the whole show.
yeah, I bet she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, I've got a couple that may be coming in too.
Yeah.
So we will see. So, I've never really had like it written out that this is how you do
Right.
this. I do this work with people. I have like it's kind of like coaching, where we meet every week and we work on certain things and we see where the triggers are and that kind of thing. But the steps that we think are pretty accurate to what we do
Yeah.
is number one would be awareness.
Right.
Awareness. And for me, the awareness was about, first off, it's about yourself. You have to be really
Right.
aware with how you're feeling and where some of these things might be coming from. Um, you know, Awareness of overreactions and those kinds of pieces,
Yeah.
that you're like later you're like, wow, I really reacted, like really reacted to that. So awareness. Now, the other piece of awareness that I found really helpful when I started this process was mindfulness, in the sense that you got to be sure how you're talking to yourself.
Right.
Like that was a really big piece of being able to get to those shadow work pieces where
Yeah.
I needed to release stuff. So, your awareness of your behaviors and your awareness of how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Getting positives in there is super important. I think that is really important.
Yeah. Oh,
You
definitely.
also have to kind of teach yourself how, when you do react or when you're about to react, how you can pause and, how you can kind of let yourself know you're safe. Like pause, stop reacting, just walk away. I used to have to just go hide and
Yeah.
cry it out or whatever when things were really happening for me. So, it's about reminding yourself, because what's happening when you trigger is an inner part of you, a younger part of you most likely, is freaking out and they don't feel safe. So, to be like, okay, we can pause. It's okay to walk away from something and come back later. It's important to tell yourself you're safe and kind of gather yourself, but give yourself the space that you need. And then we ask you to be curious.
Right.
Get curious about what's happening within you when those things are happening. So let's say you have some interaction and you get really angry and you can't stop it, right? Like it's like over the top angry and you're working to try to stop it and you're kind of inner panicking, like what's happening,
Yeah.
but you're just going. You get through the situation and later you look back at it and you'd be like, I really overreacted. Like, what was that about? What's happening? You know? So that's an important piece too. Is like to just get really curious about what's going on inside of me.
Right.
Where could this be coming from? You know, how old did I feel?
Right.
To me, that is like the number one question to myself that really worked well for me. Cause I used to be really angry and have a lot of problems. So I realized that, oh, I can ask myself, how old am I? And I can trace right back to how old I was when something was going on that was causing
Right.
an issue or whatever. I call it fracturing because I really see it. I really see our inner children as like a bunch of little children at different times, depending on how traumatic your life has been.
Right.
Um, so that's kind of, touching those inner children. And you can't be judgmental about it. You have to just be curious.
Yeah.
And be like, look, I don't need to judge this. I just need to understand it. Because that understanding, you're understanding yourself. It opens up, huge opens up so many things for you. And then there's, make sure that you're bringing in compassion, right? You got to bring in compassion for that part of you that is still holding whatever that is, right? So it's getting in there and having that compassion. I have people figure out how old they are, right? And then go in and imagine yourself at that age and try to hear what they might have to say.
Mhm.
And there are times that that's hard to do. So you can't be pushy about it. You just got to try to do it. And if you feel like you get somewhere, that's great, but just keep going, right? I literally have sat with my inner children and pretended to be with them, holding them, hugging them, coloring with them. Like it's just all about the interaction with the self because
Right.
it's really just you. So what did they not get? We're kind of bringing in the parental compassion. What did they not get when they were that age or what have you? Anyway.
Yeah.
And then you make choices, right? You realize that I have a choice and I can choose to repattern things. I can choose to catch what I'm saying and flip it, and even if I don't believe it, I could just use those. All of those in time and in conjunction with how they maybe apply to the moment are all very helpful. For me, it was all about paying attention to my behavior
Yeah.
for me.
Right.
So those are kind of like the steps. And of course, along with making choices to repattern, you got to integrate in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I always I mean, you're going to visit this stuff more than once.
Oh,
We do all of this in layers. I mean, so you're going to have something happen. You're going to think, oh, I've already addressed that. Oh, I feel so much better, because you do. You will feel so much better
right.
once you move through an emotional period. But then it may come back in a month, in 6 months, a year. Like, it's going to pop back up. And then you're going to be like, well, I already did that. Well, you did what you were ready to do. And now we got to get a little deeper, and you just process through it again,
Right.
and you see what works for you.
And it
What's,
does get a little easier too. So
once you start
yeah.
doing it and you feel safe doing
Yeah.
it, because there's really, I have a lot of people say, I'm really afraid. I don't want to relive that, and my answer to not wanting to relive it is that, sweetheart, you are living it every single day in everything you do and all those decisions that you make. So getting in to understand yourself, to bring the compassion and love that aspect,
Right.
I mean, they're serving you. So even if it's that you get super upset in certain situations, I used to do that. I used to cry through everything. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. But that was an aspect of me that didn't know how to handle authority, or what have you, and felt a little broken. So she would cry all the time. But it took having compassion and allowing and, being present with those parts in order to bring them in. And I invite them into the heart, because the heart is where you hold all the love. The heart is where you're connecting to the universe, where you're bringing in that love from source. And that is what I do. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have to work with them for 6 months before they get into that space. When I started, mine were all behind closed doors with no door handles. It took me a lot of work to get through to them, and a lot of dedication. And when you start a process like this, it's important that you stay dedicated,
Yeah.
you know? And one of the things that can happen is, like, you can react to something and then you can't stop to handle that at that moment. And one of the ways to get that to calm down is to kind of address, like, okay, I get it. Some part of me is really upset. I hear you. I see you. I will address this later, because then they'll calm down a little, thinking, oh, I'm going to get the attention I'm looking for. Because really, when we're having those kinds of things happening, that is about that part of you needing attention. Like, it's ready to talk
Yeah.
if you're having outward things going on,
Yeah.
or ruminating. Like, ruminating is another piece. If you have something happen, you just ruminate on it over and over again. Throw in your steps, like, what's happening? Where does this maybe come from? How do I get in there with compassion? How do I connect with this aspect to let it know that it's not the end of the world, right? How do I get it to think something different? Like, it's really a little meditation of going in.
And trust what you get, because you're probably going to get the thoughts in your heads too. Hey, this happened because this. And it's like, that's happened to me, because I'm not going to lie. I've put off shadow work. I'm not consistent at all. And when my guides are like, hey, it's time, it's like, oh, okay, that's why I've been flying off the handle at little bitty remarks made at me. And it's like,
Even if it's not outward, you feel the overreaction.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, whew, okay then.
Yeah. And it helps if you're connected to your guides. I
Yeah.
mean, I wasn't when I went through my processes. It was just, I mean, I was, but I didn't know I was. It was not a conscious thing at all, but they would just start triggering me and bringing things up. And, it was just that time to get through some, I mean, it was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, I didn't know I was being taught how to do it by my
Yeah.
guides who did not consciously have connection with. So I didn't know that's what was
Yeah.
happening. So there was a lot of figuring it out for me.
Yeah.
But I think it's that way for everyone to a degree because I think it's a little different for all of us.
Oh yeah. And it could
And
even be past life experiences too that come in to this one, because that was my experience, because there's a certain person that would trigger me like crazy, and it's like I'm in the shower and I'm like, why does this happen, I was like, I don't understand why. She says something and I just get so angry, 'cause over the lies, and it's like, why, and then it's just like, I heard because we were sisters in another life and she accused me of being a witch and I was tortured. And it was like,
yeah.
oh, okay. And it's like, once I sat with that and let that
Mm,
process, and it's like, this makes a whole lot of sense, because every time she would
yeah.
say something that I knew was a lie, it was like, oh my, just this anger. And once I noticed that or knew that, it like,
Mhm.
you can
Awareness.
just, yeah, thank you. It
Yeah, well, I mean,
gets
once the
easier.
awareness comes
Yeah,
to us that this just isn't what we like, this is weird,
right.
or what was that about? Like, why did I
Yeah,
react so much? And it doesn't always happen in the moment.
no.
It's later. So that's why
Yeah,
the awareness is so important because later or the shower is a great place to
yeah,
get those hints, honestly.
yeah,
But, I mean, it's later when you're thinking, that was really weird. It's really weird that
right.
happens every time. And, there's a lot of truth to that being um, entwined in our relationships. Um, Most of the time, if you have a difficult relationship, there's
Yeah,
something that you need to learn from it, whether it be from this lifetime or
right,
from a past lifetime with the same soul. We
right.
do reincarnate with the same souls over and over again a
Yeah,
lot of the time. Not always, but a lot of the time
right.
we do. So, that's a great example,
Yeah,
honestly, of when you're like, "Oh, what is it about me?" Because we can't keep being victims and blaming it
right,
on others.
right.
Releasing ourselves from victimhood, "Why does this keep happening to me?" Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah. I did a lot of that for so many years,
yeah.
you know, well, kind of up until the day that I heard the voice in my car,
Re-
and they just said,
So
"Happiness
cool.
is a choice. Just choose it." And I was like, "Oh." Like, it was just like, "Whoa." It's so funny how we sometimes get those weird
Right,
things that just change things for us. Um, Everything, as hard as it is,
right,
everything is a choice, right? So we can choose to ignore these inner things. We can choose to go through life that way. Um, but we won't be as happy as we could be. We
right,
won't have the peace that we have. Like, I can't tell you that I went from rage, constant victimhood, you know, just hatefulness that just didn't feel like me, to someone who actually had some peace. And
right.
it really happened in technically a kind of a short period of time where the peace just
Yeah,
started to come in, but we really have choices about how we deal with all of this stuff.
yeah,
But in the moment, it don't feel like it because and when it doesn't feel like it, it's because there's things we need to look at. There's connection that we need to make with ourselves, and we simply do it with the steps of being aware,
right.
walking through something. I'm trying to think. Uh, do you have any other examples? Because you've had a couple things happen lately. Is there any details or not specific details, but like how you notice or
Put it on the spot. My mind goes blank.
I know. We'll come back to that. I wanna talk yeah, I want us to talk a little bit about how we change our thought process.
Right,
Because when we are very, very, very harsh and judgmental with ourselves in our brains, um, sometimes we do it out loud, and most of the time it's pretty silent, but it's running.
right, right,
And I'm just gonna share what I did. So I realized that I had that abusive, demeaning parent voice running in my head, but it was me. It
Yeah.
wasn't them anymore. I was a grown adult with 2 children, and I realized that I could do something simple like drop the lid to the toothpaste, and I would be cussing myself, telling myself how dumb I am, how I can't even hold the toothpaste. Like I was
Yeah.
all over myself like white on rice, and it was not pretty, but I didn't ever notice that was happening
Yeah.
until I did. And then I thought, I don't how do I change this? Because they told me happiness was a choice, I just needed to choose it. And I'm like, that's keeping me really unhappy. So how do I change that? And I decided one day that I could just replace the negative thought with a positive,
Right.
whether I believed it or not. And that was hard because you have to force yourself into it.
Yeah.
And a lot of this work is about, okay, wait, I that's my old pattern. It's okay that I fell into it, but I want to change it. And
Yeah.
so I would be like, I'm cussing myself and call myself names and telling me how useless I am because I dropped my keys,
Right.
and I would be like, wait, that's not I had to be really aware. It took a long
Yeah.
time, like to get myself to pay attention. But I would just say, "You know what? That's not true."
Right.
Everybody drops their keys. Everybody has moments where they do something silly. We all trip once in
Right.
a while. We all say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Because I ruminated a lot about conversations I'd had with people from way back when. Like, those would still be
Yeah.
ruminating as well. So, it was
Right.
like, we all do that. Like, it's okay. I'm not a dumbass or whatever I was saying.
No. That's
No,
my
and I
word I
would just
always call myself.
yeah, it is a popular one. But I would just replace, and I just would replace it and roll my eyes, whatever. Like, my physical reaction to
Right.
me doing that was not pleasant, but
Right.
it was important to push through. And that's true about a lot of these steps and a lot of these moments. We have to be really open and vulnerable with ourselves,
Right.
and we have to commit to changing. And I'll tell you, it really only took a few months and my mind calmed down. My anxieties lessened. Like things really changed because I stopped hating on myself all the time. Now that doesn't mean I loved myself necessarily, but I wasn't saying it. I was learning to cheerlead for myself, which was
Right.
really important. So I feel like that's a part of our shadow work. It's
Right.
important to know that we're hating on ourselves in subconscious ways because
Right.
a lot of that is subconscious. So again, that's why the awareness is so important on so many levels. I feel your energy. It's great.
Yeah. She's like really got
I'm
me
not
working
crying.
over here. I'm not just being quiet. She's got
Oh no, we can see. I know. I feel like I, you know, keep wanting to just throw it to you, but I
oh
don't want to put you too on the spot um, at all. I didn't think to come up with like a specific like scenario.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
I don't know if that would be helpful right now or not, honestly. Does she have more to say? I'm here. I'm getting popping in my ears, so somebody has something to say.
yeah. I think she just wants to keep doing
Running the
the
energy.
energy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, so far, is that making sense to you guys? Like, am I just talking in
I
circles, or
think
is
you
it making
explained it very well. I mean, it's if I would have met you years ago, I would have been a lot better at it than just trying to. How do I do shadow work on the internet? And a lot of it confused me really because I'm like, and that's why I avoided it for so long. And it's like they would get me when I was alone,
Mhm.
at the in the house alone, and they would just like throw stuff in my head, and it's like, oh, and then I'd be curled up in a little ball crying because it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's
let
why
me
it
deal
helps
with
to have somebody to go to too.
yeah. But it helped though, because once you realize it, it helps you be like, oh, okay, that's why I'm doing.
Maribel. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're not. Sometimes I just feel like I can overtalk. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I can talk in circles. I'm trying to think of like a really, you know, I mean, I had kind of a severe, you know, situation when my shadow work just started being taught to me.
Right.
And
Right.
I literally I would just be really, and now it's a little lighter, right?
Yeah.
So I still have, I mean, dude, to get all the way through, I don't know.
Right.
I've never
I
planned
don't
to
think we ever
I'm all the way through it.
completely do it, but I mean, like
Yeah.
finish or whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
noticed
constant.
that one of the things that seems to happen when something is up in me, and if I'm not having outward behaviors,
Right.
that are ridiculous like I used to, I'll be in not the best mood. I
Right.
won't want to people. I'll be like, "Ugh," or I'll be judgy about the way people are driving, or,
Yeah.
like, you start to notice judgment is coming around and you're like,
Right.
"Oh, what's going on? Somebody's up. Something is up in me," right? And so it isn't always that it's super obvious, but you're, like, not in the best mood. Why am I not in a good mood?
Right.
That could be something within you. It
Yeah.
could be that you need to go, "Huh, what's happening? Do you have any memories? Are memories popping? Are
Right.
you having dreams about things that maybe happened in the past?" And these can be traumatic things, or they can be things that just bothered you,
Right.
right? Like, shadow work isn't always, "Oh, my mom beat me 20 times a day." That isn't always what we're looking for. What we're looking for is, where are we judging ourselves? Where, where's the pain? Where is that we're not loving ourselves or accepting ourselves? So bringing in love and acceptance is super, super important for all of us. Steven has a question. Good. We need questions. Throw questions out there. I would literally start crying. I would literally just be really angry and I would start crying, and I would get out of hand in some way, and then I would run to my room. And my clearings were full body. I would cry, all my cells would sting, it was like my whole body
Right.
felt like it was on fire, I would get sick, like, I mean, it was so crazy
Right.
sometimes. My kids would just bring me a bottle of water while it was going on and
Right.
leave me alone because they knew what was happening after a while. But it
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
have to be like that. What's
I'm
happening?
sorry. Reading Kevin's question.
Okay, look,
Yeah, it's up here.
had
All I heard is
shadows.
Jesus
Oh,
is
oh,
here.
yes. Ah, Jesus wants to talk. Okay, yeah. So I've heard that
I
ascended
called him out a while
masters
ago. That's why.
so I've heard that ascended masters had
Yeah.
shadow selves as well, of course, that there were not 100% love and light, but they had their own negative aspects.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
I think Jesus can talk on that.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
shall we bring him
I think
in?
both
Because
of them
that's
are
an
here.
absolute for sure. I mean,
Not just
ascended master is someone who's gone through all of it,
right.
right? And mastered.
Yeah. We were human at one time. All humans have human emotions. That's why it's so important not to judge. Yes, I lost my temper. It's normal. When you see an injustice, it's you would wonder if something was wrong if you didn't get angry or have some kind of emotional response to certain issues. So do not beat yourself up if you do have reactions to certain situations. It is okay because that's like they said at the beginning, it is light and dark, light and shadow. There has to be a balance. And that is the key, is to find that balance. No one is 100% love and light all of the time. It can't be attained. So do not worry if you have all of these emotions. And like was also mentioned, it is really not attainable, I guess is the word, to completely do all of your shadow work to release all of these emotions because you do have to have a little bit of that darkness within you, the shadow. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing to actually want to get rid of. It is a part of you, just as the light, just as Lucifer. He is part of the dark, but he is necessary, and he is not the evil that everyone has made him out to be. He is this one's protector guide. I am her master teacher. Do you think I would work with her if he was truly evil? Don't let the thoughts of others interfere with you. There is so much that you have been taught that is not true. Love yourself for who you are and work on the shadow, yes, but do not try to get rid of it. Oh,
You have to understand it. And that's why I say we're understanding ourselves, right?
yeah.
You don't want to get rid of it. The other
No.
thing that comes into play here is the ego. And
Yeah.
people will come into spirituality and learning. And I worked with healers that were like this. And to me, it didn't make any sense that they wanted to get rid of the ego.
Right.
That is a human construct. You are not getting rid of the ego,
Right.
but you're not going to live in it, right?
Right.
You're not going to stand in it and be all ego based, but it's going to
Right.
be part of who you are. So it's about understanding. It's about not judging it. It's about, finding balance, as he said,
Right.
with all of this. It was beautiful.
I
Thank you.
love that he wouldn't be with me if Lucifer was truly evil. I love when he said that. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
And,
that's still
yeah.
uncomfortable
And
for you.
I don't know if you remember in class when I first brought Lucifer in and Rachel was asking me questions. It's like, is there darkness in the 5D? And he's like, yeah, it's different. It's not like it is here, but you're always going to have the yin and
Polarity.
yang, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. See if he agrees with what we're saying about the techniques.
Yeah. Yes.
Oops.
These techniques are wonderful. The main key is to drop the judgment and mainly find what fits for you. Not everyone is the same, so not all techniques will work the same for everyone. Find what feels right for you and honor yourself. That is the main key. Honor yourself and your feelings. Don't feel like you have to do it this way because someone told you that is the way. There is not one true way, but just be loving to yourself and know that you are human and it is okay. It is okay to still have reactions after you have done shadow work. You always will have reactions. It's like Mother Mary said, do not stay there. It's how you react after that is the main key. Oh,
Agreed.
that's
And you know what? He just said the whole reason I coach, I don't have a coaching program and outline.
right.
And I don't because it's so individual as to
Yeah,
how we really get in there.
right.
It really is so individual about how we do it.
Yeah.
But
It's not a one
no
size fits
judgment,
all.
bringing in compassion and love, that's what we need. And you got to just play with it until you figure out what
Right,
actually works for you in all
right,
reality.
right.
There are many, many ways to do
And
this.
sometimes you can just sit back, like I was in the shower that day and be like, why do I react this way? It can be simple. It doesn't have to be big and drawn out.
Curiosity.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really is. It's open curiosity.
right.
That is, I think, one of the most important aspects is to just be open and curious. Why is this happening? I
Yeah,
don't, and not bringing judgment in that moment. Had you brought judgment in that moment, you wouldn't have got the answers,
Right.
right? So it's all about that. What's happening with me and having all of the awareness and the curiosity, and then what makes you feel better.
Right.
It isn't the same for everyone.
Yeah.
It just isn't the same for everyone.
That's not.
Jesus makes good points.
Who knew? No.
That's why it's hard for me to even
Yeah.
talk about this subject other than, look, this is what I did.
Yeah.
These are how the things happen for me. What I found I needed to do, and that was connecting with the self and understanding the self and not rejecting the negative, not
Right.
what we consider negative, right? Not the shadow side, like
Yeah.
realizing that that is a really important aspect.
Right.
If you didn't have any darkness, nothing would be protecting you. You would
Right.
not be protective of yourself. You would not be, present and allowing yourself to matter in
Right.
situations, right? You would just be like, oh, you can't be happy as a human being that way.
No.
You can be in la la land, that's what I call it. When you're just 100% that way, you're
Yeah.
denying so many aspects of yourself that at some point it's going to boil up.
Right. And it's like, oh shoot, my mind's, who was it? Jesus or Mother Mary talking about when they're like that, you see them on camera like that, but what goes on when the camera's not on?
Yes.
I don't think that those people that portray themselves or they're either on
Girl, what a
serious
hot mess.
drugs or,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
you don't know.
yeah,
You really don't
right.
know.
Yeah.
And and frankly, I think that's one of the reasons we're here being this way. Because
Right.
we have problems. We all have problems. You know, I I go through stuff all the time. It's so funny. It's
Yeah.
just how we deal with it now.
Yeah.
And I just had 2 days and I was just sad and I just sat on the couch. I was like, "Meh, I'm sad. I'm just gonna be sad. It's okay for me to be sad. What do you do? Something's releasing, right? Something's coming
Yeah.
up. If it stays longer than a day, then okay, I'm going, okay, what's going on?
Right.
What's happening? Is there any memories? And then sometimes I will get memories as to what this is about. And then I'll just bring in the love. Like I don't know, I think at different times things happen different ways.
Yeah.
So you have to really be open and not, humans like to have step one, step two, step three, step four. Like we like to know, okay, exactly how do I do this? Well, it's a little fluid.
Right.
So what are you feeling at the moment? And just learning to, you know, understand what is happening within you.
Yeah.
That awareness and curiosity, I think are
Oh,
the two you can't live without. Like
yeah.
understanding that, I was feeling sad, trying to remember what was coming up. It was definitely from my early childhood. I had a very demeaning mother. So I have moments like that where all of a sudden I'm just depressed. And it's just, an aspect of me from way back when that's still holding,
Right.
some of it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I love you. And, you didn't deserve to be treated that way. And, you learned how to be so compassionate because you understand that kind of pain, right? And it was a huge teaching for me to live that way because it taught me, even though I ran around and hurt people for a while because I got really angry in my teenage years, it taught me that that wasn't who I wanted to be, and it took me a while to grasp it. It took me a while to get a hold of myself. I'm
Right.
not gonna lie about that. But I can have so much compassion for people in situations that without that, I don't think I would. Like, why would
Yeah.
I even think of it? So,
Right.
I just go in and I just be like, "Hey, I got you. I'm here for you. Is there something we need to do?" And, I just ask myself to tell me, "What do you need from me?" Right? And I'm not beyond imagining them and sitting with them. And it doesn't have to be for a long time. You can do 5 minutes of being
Yeah.
like, "Hey, let's go to your playroom in my imagination and let's hang out." If they say they just need time or they're feeling really sad, so then I'm gonna go, "Well, let's go sit in the chair and let's just I'll hold you." And you imagine that, and that brings that love into that
Right.
aspect. And it sounds ridiculous. I'm always like, "This is gonna sound so crazy, but try this."
But no, it works though, because
You've done it.
you've had me do it. Yeah, it
And
really
it's
works.
just about being present with yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is, which is hugely important
Right.
in this stuff. And not being afraid of it, understanding that everybody has some of these aspects
Right.
and they're not something to fear or to hate on or anything, but it's so God, it's so helpful to understand
Oh,
them.
I know, like talking about the incident in the shower, once I realized where it was coming from, it's like a weight lifted off, and it's just like, oh, I could breathe a little better because I know, okay,
Yeah.
so when things would be said, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to react that way anymore. It's going to be, sometimes I still do, but it's not as nearly as bad as it was before.
No, and it
So,
rapidly changes, doesn't it?
oh,
Like over
yes.
months, like you can just be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
2 months ago, I would probably smack that person, but I didn't. I just went, "Oh, that's
Right.
interesting that you see it that way," and I walked away. Like, it can
Yeah.
rapidly affect
Right.
how you're feeling,
Yeah.
um, really to just have some
Yeah.
of those moments with yourself
Yeah.
and really, sink into the
Right.
self. I just urge you all not to be afraid of yourself. You're
No.
all amazing beings. You're all amazing, and you have so much to offer. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. So
Right.
understand that everybody has all of this to some
Right.
degree, and the more you understand the self and sink into the self and
Right.
put yourself on the list to matter. I think that's another piece that's really
Right.
important is that you have to be on the priority list, at all times. And I'm not saying you have to be, it's all about you, but you have to be up in that list, in the
Yeah.
top few. Like you can't just give to everybody all the time and not do for the self. And that's a super important just aspect of
Yeah.
life and living. Let's see what did Kevin say? Sometimes I just go back to hardships in life, and just think about them, sometimes get emotional, yeah. Yes, that's
Right.
absolutely, that's beautiful. Go back, listen to yourself, feel
Mhm.
how you felt, allow the emotions to be present, but choose not to stay in them. So
Right.
you wanna just be present and understanding and allow them to leave.
Right.
I used to imagine, in those kinds of moments, I used to imagine, um, just sparkles just, like, leaving me when I was trying to release things. Like, I'm like, "I love you. We don't have to hold this pain. We don't have to live in this anymore." And I would just see this particles just going off to the angels because I always relied on them. I've also seen times where we've, sent it into the earth and allowed the earth to transmute it because the earth can do that as well, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, it's honestly complicated and simple all at the same time.
Yeah.
The
Right.
simpleness is it's about you. It's
Yeah.
about accepting you. It's about understanding you and not judging.
And you've had me, go back to my inner child, back to a certain time, and hey, you're safe. It's okay. You're going to grow up and be okay.
Look
So,
where we are now, girl. Come up here with me. Sometimes you will find
that's
an
good.
aspect of you that seems to be stuck in a time and sometimes a room. I've actually had to have people, invite that child, take them by the hand or whatever, and invite them into where they would like to be. So it's like, "Where would you like to be?" And they're like, "I want a hut on the beach." "Okay, let's do it. You can imagine that. So let's take you to that space and where you feel safer, where, you're not feeling bombarded by whatever the experiences were in that space." And that's one of the ways if you have a really resistant thing happening, is to imagine them being free of that space and those actions and bringing them to another space. I've had people build forts recently in their room, because one of the parts really wanted to be with them, but was really stuck somewhere. So we built a fort and invited them forward into this fort, and she just had it in her room for a couple days. And
Yeah.
she spent a little time interacting with this part. I mean, there's so many silly, what sounds silly to us because we're adults and we don't do that, but we need to do it,
Right.
right? Like, I mean, literally have had people go, "That sounds crazy." And I'm like, "I know, but try it, it works."
What did they say? You go back and kind of reparent your inner child the way it needed to be, in a sense.
I think how long is it best to feel them again and again, the tears and the rage, for example, until it is not triggering you?
Yeah.
Now, you can do 5 minutes at a time. Whatever it takes to calm down, right? Being present, and you can try, bringing in different energies and different things. You can ask your guides to help you. Please wrap this part of me, in healing and allow this part of me to release it. This is how I'm feeling. A lot of the time when you do, start to feel all those emotions and it's, coming and going, I think identifying all the emotions you could possibly identify and being like, "Yep, that's how we feel right now, but we don't have to stay there. I love you," bringing in the love,
Mhm.
and then just sitting with it for a few minutes. I have asked those parts of me, "Are you feeling okay now? Can we go back to, usual?" And sometimes I get a, "Yeah, I'm good,"
Yeah.
but that's just a process of it releasing from you.
Right.
Um, Presentness with the emotion, bringing in the love, honestly, and the acceptance of those emotions, and then asking, can we just send this out with the angels? We don't need to suffer. Knowing you don't need to suffer from something is really important. So, I mean, that's a simple 5-minute process, right? Now, it may come up tomorrow. If it does, do another 5 minutes
Yeah.
or 10 minutes, whatever it is, what you have time for. And if something's coming up and it's a part that you've already talked to and they need attention again, then you ask them, you can negotiate with them. You just be like, "Hey, I hear you. I see you. I know we're feeling this way. Can we please wait until I'm home and we will talk?" And then you gotta go back to them because they'll calm down and the emotion will back off, but you gotta go talk to them again because you're building trust in a sense. That's how I see it. So you go back when you get home, you're like, "Okay, we were feeling this way. Is there something I need to understand?" And just open to it and allow whatever comes up to come up. And that may take 3 minutes, it may take 10, but you can do that. You don't have to once you get into this process, you don't have to let things run wild. You can just be like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about this later. I do see you," and make sure that you go back and talk. Like, I'm weird because I can see people's inner children when I'm working with somebody, and I'll see them at a certain age, and I'm not good with age, so they'll always be a range because I'm like, "Oh, they look about," or I'll see them peeking around the corner from something. Like, maybe they have something they're hiding behind in you, and I just see it that way. So, you have to forgive the way I talk about it because I really see it as pieces of us at different ages, and sometimes they're adults, don't get me wrong, we can be a teenager, or an adult, or,
Right.
whatever, but I just see it that way, so when I talk about it, I talk about it that way, so, I mean, however you see it is fine, there's no right or wrong with that, I don't think.
Right.
It's just for some reason how my gifts work where this is concerned with people.
Right.
It feels a little weird for me, but,
Yeah.
felt relieved to be after Jesus's message, I felt relieved to be a non-perfect human, yes! It's
Right.
normal to have flaws and dark qualities, even people. Yes!
Right.
It is who you are, and, we are welcome to work to change things if we're a little harsh or something, we don't like it, but we can't change it if we don't accept it.
Right.
That's actually a valuable part of ourselves, 'cause it really is a valuable part. All of this is, and again, shadow work is not
Right.
removing parts of you,
No.
denying anything. It's acceptance and understanding, really. That's all it is, and relating to it. What if what do they say? What we resist persists. So if you're angry and you're refusing to look
Right.
at it, and you just start stuffing it, it's gonna get
It's
big.
a bug. Yeah.
And it could take years, but it will get big. So,
Mm.
Yes. Oh,
Right.
Yes. The
Yeah.
religious programming of hell and being a bad person is over. Yes, thank
Yeah.
goodness.
That's,
There is no hell. I'm
no.
sorry. That might not be, happy for some people, but that is a human construct.
Yeah. To control
Ju-
people.
Judgment is not on
You
the other
don't
side.
do what we say, you're gonna go here. That's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, honestly, I have always had a problem with that. And I was
Yeah.
fortunate not to have that indoctrination in this lifetime. So, I didn't have a hard time. I had a hard time understanding why people thought that
Yeah.
our creator was going to be judgmental and hateful
Right.
towards us in any way, shape, or form. When I always felt, even way before I had any knowledge of any of this, that they were learning through us, that we were doing things to understand and learn things. And maybe I needed that understanding so that I would stay because things were hard. But
Yeah.
I never understood that. Why
Mm.
would they put us here and then just judge us? You know who judges us? Us.
That's,
Us. Yeah, us. And even in the life review that people talk about, there is supposedly
it's
a
not
life
about
review.
judgment, you
It
know.
isn't. It's about understanding.
Right.
It's about deepening those understandings that
Yeah.
help you grow. So again, that's what we're doing here. We're deepening the understanding about ourselves, what
Right.
we've been through, what it's brought up in us, what we like, what we don't like.
Right.
What do we want to perpetuate? What do we not want to? And those are really important things.
Absolutely.
Reuniting with the parts that we don't accept.
Right.
Absolutely. They are beautiful, they are helpful, they are important, or they wouldn't be there. So understanding them and bringing them into the loop so that they don't take over, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I would have a very angry part that used to just take over, and I would for days be in that and
Right.
no control over what was happening. I would just be mad and,
Right.
harsh and difficult, and I really didn't understand it until I was able to get in and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know? So, and yeah, and there's a lot of different religious teachings as well, right? So, and it isn't that they're all wrong. There's some truth in some of that, but
Yeah.
there's the aspects that are, controlling, um,
Right.
those aspects may just be a little misconstrued. I don't know. But yes, it's about loving ourselves, including the
Yes.
darkness, and
Yeah.
knowing that it's handy. It's part of our lives. It's part of the human
It's all.
makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
balance in everything, right? They always tell us balance in everything.
Right.
Yeah, balance in everything. It's not
Mm.
always easy to get to. What are you feeling?
Mm.
Truth
She just
covered
still
her.
got me working.
Yeah.
I think she's just trying to help soothe it for everybody and help the understanding come in a little easier. But Mother
And
Mary.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you're not really understanding all of this or you're feeling like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us layers and layers and layers of understanding some of these things, and you may understand it in a different way. So the words we're using, maybe they aren't 100% resonant with you, but if you try to just grasp the concept and then see what works for you, what feels like truth for you in
Yeah.
any of the concepts that you're taught or shared that, anytime we're sharing anything, I'm like, girl, make it your own because I do it my way. You may do it your way.
Right. You find what works for you,
Yeah. And again, that's
and it
why
might
when
be
I work.
several different ways too. It's
Yes. Yes. I don't just deploy one way and I
right.
don't just go through, okay, here's the 6 steps. I'm going to do each one of these. No, it depends on what I need at the time. It's
Yeah.
probably one or two of those steps, but it just took some practice to kind of and some help. There were definitely times that I needed to talk to another healer that I'd be like, I'm stuck in this and I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So, you may need some help with that. You may need a friend who maybe is on the same path and they can help you understand a little more about what might be going on. We get stuck in our perspectives when it's about ourselves. So it really helps, I don't know where I'd be without, like Joelle.
Right.
Joelle and I, you know,
Oh, we've helped one another so much.
so much. It's insane. Like, she's been doing Reiki on me lately. Oh my god, it's making a humongous difference for me. Like, I love Joelle's healing. It's crazy good. Um, she just hits everything I need, releasing some of those things, and that's another piece. You
Yeah.
can get energy sessions, from people that you trust, to help you release. Like,
Yeah.
I've always had a problem with my neck. Let's go there real quick, and I know this is going long, but I've always had, like, my neck was so bad that it, had kinked up one time when I was on a trip to Arizona. I couldn't even have the water hitting the top of my head in a shower in a hotel, which didn't have any temperature. It was so painful, and I got stuck there for a few days till we could figure that out. Well, as it turns out, I had an incident with my mother where she hit me over the top of the head with a tennis shoe from the back as hard as she could. So it kinda damaged my neck, but what I was doing was storing all
Mhm.
of the pain and the emotion and the
Yeah.
agony that I had from that relationship in my neck. Poor
Yeah.
Joelle had to cry it out while she was working on me one.
I didn't notice what we do. It's like
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
healers, we feel it and it releases through us as well, not just y'all. If like Shauna, she's like, I cry for people, and apparently
Oh,
I
yeah.
do
I'm teaching her. She just found a pocket that, I had worked on for
too.
years, and my neck had been bothering me, but it hadn't been horrible. But, it was one of the things that I was like, "Girl, if you work on that, that'd be great." And then
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh my gosh, the amount of emotion in there." And I was like, "Oh, still?"
Yeah. It
You
was
know?
crazy.
So there are times that it is helpful to find someone that you really trust, that you feel comfortable with, because I think that's really important. Someone that you feel is authentic and, really doing what they're saying for you, and that you connect with, that can maybe once in a while run a session for you,
Right.
um, to help you out. And that's one of the reasons we like to do the energy work here too, because you
Yeah.
can come back to those.
Right.
And I know on my channel, I have a bunch of clearings and different things, and Joelle has a lot of videos with healing in them as
Yeah.
well. Like, you know,
Who was that I did was it the Lemurian? Yeah, that was the Lemurians that came in, and I had to stop the video, text Shauna, hey,
help me.
what is going on here? I had a vision and I am like crying like crazy.
And that's what I was thinking about, and I couldn't remember what the
Oh,
situation was because I
yeah.
never remember. But absolutely, yeah. So Joelle just had a while trying to channel.
Big freaking, yeah. It's like,
Big
oh,
theater
okay.
child thing. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. I
But
mean,
boy, what an opportunity to understand another aspect of you.
right. Oh, yeah. It
You're like, "Oh my
explains
gosh,
so
what's tied to
much.
that?" You know? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's craziness. I'll tell you, Maribel, you can have full body emotional releases. They're a little freaky, but they
Right.
don't last too long when it happens. I have absolutely done it. Just bring in love. You know what? And that's another thing,
Yeah.
realizing that our bodies are holding all of these experiences and all these emotions. Our memories are not in our brains. Our
No.
trauma is not in the brain. The
Nope.
trauma, the memories, it's in the body. It's in the muscles. It's in the neck. It's everywhere. If you have a back problem that you've no reason to have, likely there's some stuck emotion.
Right.
There's something in there. And honestly, that's another good example. Let's say
Right.
you have a neck that bothers you a lot,
Right.
and you're trying to do shadow work and you're trying to understand, what's going on here. You can tune in to that aspect and be
Right.
like, hey, can somebody give me a hint as to what's happening here? And you can come up with all kinds of memories and things that may be,
Right.
stuck in there. And then
Absolutely.
the body starts to feel better. Oh, I feel like we could do this for a week,
Right.
you know. But hopefully this is making some sense or is helpful in some way.
Right.
And again, everything that we say, make it your own. Do it your
Right.
way. You gotta find what works for you.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, when I work with people, I don't have a set program. This is individual. Let's talk about what's going on with you. And I see what I see, we see what they see, and we work on those pieces as they come up because your being knows what you need to work on.
Yeah.
So, when you connect in with somebody and that's what you're going to work on, what's important or what's at the surface is going to come up. So that's just
right. And after you do it, get one of Shauna's angel pods and you'll sleep like a baby. For angel pods.
I know, they put Joelle right to sleep.
I have to
run them at night.
I always have. And I'm like, put me in a pod.
I know. Her little granddaughter was upset.
Sleep like
Did she use a healing pod? I'll put her in one. So funny. Oh my goodness. All right. Is there anything else you think we need to cover or do?
I think it's pretty much. I know you didn't get to your channeling, but Mother Mary has been kind of working on everybody.
No, I think what Mother Mary is perfect. So they can come in another time. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're not pushing forward. So they're like, nope, we're okay. Yeah. I think it was depending on, what took place and how this all went, whether they needed to come in or not in today. Right. So we're good. I'm perfectly happy to have you handle it.
It's not me, it's Mother Mary.
I will say I'm so proud of myself for not crying. So all's going well.
Right. Well, I did ask them to help us keep our emotions in check for the show.
Well, it worked. Next time I'm emotional, I'm going to be like, hey, Joelle, you want to help me keep that in check? Anyhow, we really appreciate every one of you. We appreciate every moment you spend with us or how much you put up with us. We know we're not the standard, but we love you and we really appreciate you. And we just hope that we are helpful.
Right.
Do you feel like anybody wants to come in for a channel? Because Kevin is asking if we can do one, but I don't really feel like anybody's super excited to do that.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just Mother Mary's been.
Yeah.
The whole time.
She's just clearing
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel anyone either.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, you guys. And we will see you next week.
Y'all have a good weekend too.
Yes. Have a great weekend. Thank you, guys.
We will see y'all for Sparkles next Friday.
Yes. Goodbye.